Hey there, so I wanted to take a minute and make a quick video about a problem that's a little bit trickier and that's due this week. So this is from lesson 1 and this is question number 15, also from section 3.2. And you're asked to determine the domain and range given the graph that they give you. And so the idea here is that you're going to find the domain, which is all x values, and the range, which is all y values. So we're going to go through that real quick. So the x values here, so you can see it's just based on your x-axis, right? And so it's just a matter of finding all the values of x that are included in this graph. And so you start left to right. You read the graph left to right. And so we're going to start here as far left as we can, which is at x equals -9. And now you can see, indicated by this arrow, that it's going to go off to positive infinity as far, I mean, we have no idea where this is going to go. And so it's going to go off to the positive x-axis forever and ever and ever. And so this is going to be basically, essentially, x equals positive infinity. So we know that our domain is then going to be -9 to infinity, but the other thing you have to pay attention to are these dots. The dots are all filled in, which tells you that the point itself is included in the domain. That's really important because if it's included in the domain, you have to represent it using a bracket that tells everyone that that point is included. We are going to be using it in our domain. And so to write it in appropriate interval notation, we have to use the bracket to indicate that. So then the domain becomes bracket -9 to positive infinity. And infinity is always represented with a parenthesis, so you never have to worry about that one. So now we're going to do the range. So the range is all y values. So you're just looking at it based on your, let me try that again. Just looking at it based on your your y axis. So now you can see that once again the arrow goes down to -infinity for the y-axis, on and on. You have no idea where it's going to stop. And so just based on that arrow, we know that it's going to start at -infinity because we always start at negative values. For range, we read it from top to bottom, and for domain, you read it from left to right. And so the range then is going to start at -infinity. And once again, it's just represented with a parenthesis. So you don't have to worry about that one too much. Now, the other thing that you have to pay attention to is where the range ends. And so at this point, at y equals -1, the graph is done. It doesn't go up any higher on the y-axis, right? So it stops at y equals -1. And so -1 is going to be the point where our graph is finished on the range. Again, because these points are filled in, those points are included in our range and will be represented using a bracket. That is really, really important notation to remember. And so that's how we get our range from -infinity to -1. And that's it for this guy. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out, and thanks for watching.